The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Thanks for joining us in the shed as we start a short series of a new adventure run by Kurt. Mickie, JJ, Chris, and Joe suit up as an elite task force in this modern-day espionage game. Kurt gives us the information to get us on our way. Enjoy the podcast.
Hi, and welcome to the Shed for Adventures from the Shed. Different voice, same place, same good time. This is Kurt. I'm going to be the game master for today's session. We're going to play something new and different. But before we go around and introduce everyone who's here, I want to remind you to check us out at adventuresfromtheshed.com. We're also on Facebook, and if you have a chance to rate us on iTunes, we would love that because that would help other people find the show. You can also search us through Google, Yahoo, Bing, and all those other things.
AOL really, too, I think.
I think if you just go to adventuresfromtheshed.com and throw us some love on iTunes, we'll be happy. Looking forward to today's session. Let's go around the table and introduce ourselves, starting with...
We're going backwards.
We're going backwards.
Awesome. Counterclockwise. That would be me. I'm Joe. And I am a player for this Kurt adventure that we'll be going on.
This is Chris. I'm player number 2.
Hey.
Ready Player 2.
JJ here. I am Ready Player 3.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mickie. I just hang out most of the time.
You get the Mad Catz controller.
Awesome. Well, listen, guys, we all want to take a chance game mastering, I think, here. And I wanted to play something a little different. We've been doing a lot of Dungeons & Dragons. We had a great long run on Curse of Strahd with JJ. And I thought I would mix it up and change the mechanics a little bit, and more importantly, change the setting. So today we are going to be playing a modern espionage thriller set in the present day. You guys...
Now, when you say present day, you mean like real now, 2017?
2017.
Okay.
Shit just got real, yo.
It did.
Shit just got real, yo. So you guys are part of an elite task force that is unaccountable to everyone except for one individual that is known to you guys officially as CC1. You guys jokingly refer among yourselves to him as Cobra Commander, but you should probably come up with a name that you will actually use when you speak with him during the adventure.
I call him Carbon Copy.
How about Deep Throat?
So this Deep Throat with this crew might not be the best idea. You guys are an completely off-the-books unit created as a fast response team after the Iran hostage crisis went so bad back in 1980. The team, not necessarily you guys, but the team as a whole has had a number of successes since then in all kinds of varied operations. So your role has really expanded into both espionage and tactical assault roles. But the sole purpose at the end of the day is to preserve the United States of America and its closest allies from any threats against it, whether foreign or domestic.
So, like, we are the judge, jury, and executioner?
You are the judge, jury, and executioner. You are beholden and responsible to command. And if you guys betray the organization or are found not to be acting in accordance with this mission, you guys know that you will be terminated and never seen again.
We disappear like the last group reported to CC1.
Exactly. Right. So the idea here is loosely based on like a Mission Impossible task force, with individuals being anything from James Bond to Jason Bourne to
James Stevens.
Whoever turns you on.
No checks. What the hell?
Speaking of who turns you on.
I was just trying to think about that. I was thinking like the chick from Aeon Flux, but that's not quite right. I'm thinking of Atomic Blonde, which is going to be the new, I don't know if you guys have seen.
Previews of that?
Yeah, it's going to be the female John Wick with Charlize Theron.
Ooh.
So, anyways, what I did is I sent out a very simple character sheet and a very simple, I guess, rule set or mechanic to you all and asked you guys to create a character. We're playing this as a one-shot today, so at most we're going to be playing for 3 hours. But you guys did a great job of coming up with backgrounds and then coming up with skills and attributes. And my main goal here was to have each of you have a character that was very distinct from the other so that coming together as a team, you would cover all of the major skills that you might need on any type of operation. So the rules, to the extent that we use them, are going to be based on, and I want to make sure I give credit properly, there's a system called Dead Simple RPG, Dead Simple Fantasy RPG. And there is and of course now I won't properly have it in front of me, but there's a modern espionage version of it called, I think it's SO21 or SEO21. And so I use that to help us get the skills. And basically what we're doing here is we've got kind of a base attribute, which is based on one of 4 things. You guys have strength, dexterity, intelligence, and willpower. Mm-hmm. And then you have a level of training.
I think technically it was intellect, in case if it was borrowed. Might as well
You're right,
use it.
intellect.
Yeah.
And then you guys add to that to get a modifier that you will use essentially against a DC check. You add to that a modifier based on a specialty that you may have, a background that you may have that may make you better at some of these skills than the others. And then you all have a level of training that will allow you to add a modifier to certain skills. And the idea here is not that we are the equivalent of level 1 characters and newbies out of the gate. You guys are experienced, if not masters, you are experienced in this. So mechanically, you guys will have each chosen 2 specialties, and we'll talk about that. I'll have you go around and introduce your characters, that will give you bumps to certain skills. You'll get bumps based on your training and, as I said, on your background. So rather than me kind of talk about that in the abstract, why don't we go around and have you guys, to the extent that you want to, talk a little bit about the character you made at a high level. If you want to give a little backstory, enough that is something that really the other team would already know at this point. You know, the idea is not necessarily that this stuff is secret. Give us a little sense for kind of what the team dynamics are, and then when we actually start the adventure, we're going to, instead of starting in a tavern or an operations room where we're sitting around getting to know each other, we're going to start in the middle of it. Joe, you want to
point at me again? Sure, I'll go. My character is Lance McBell. His background is law enforcement. His specialties are marksman and charmer. So a little bit about Lance. He is an ex-cop. He used to work in the police force, and he used to work on a SWAT team, and was involved in a freak accident where his left hand was lost, and he spent a lot of time in recovery. Eventually got a cheap prosthetic hand, and kind of gave up on law enforcement, turned to crime for a little while, and then he was found by this group, by CC1, and one of the people in the group had helped program and create a state-of-the-art prosthetic hand that now is all attached with gizmos and widgets, servos, and programming that helps him hold a weapon almost perfectly still so he can get a great shot in. So he has he shoots with his left hand. He's right-handed for everything else. These are things people would know. And it's actually Mickey's character, who she'll introduce, that keeps his hand in the right shape. But other than that, his left hand's useless outside of shooting, so he's right-handed for everything else. He writes, he types, and everything with his right hand, and the left hand just kind of hangs out there. I don't know, Kurt, how long has the group been together? I don't know if that's something that you wanted to determine.
You guys tell me. Nope. I mean,
so
long enough
I'm the
that
first one, so I'll just say
each other
it.
and have dynamics.
Yeah. So I'm the first one, so I'll just say it, that the 4 of us, I don't know who was in the group first. I guess I wasn't for sure because of the way I just worded it. But the 4 of us have been together for a year. Maybe we've been on a couple other missions. And I think that's it. I guess I'll use a little bit of what Kurt said to talk about the rules a little bit that we have. So my character is that his top 2 skills are then persuasion and shooting, because he is a charmer and he's very good at shooting. And he uses this. I don't know if he would be the face guy of the group, but he's the one that goes in to a situation through the front door. He doesn't sneak in anywhere. He's not a sniper. He goes in through the front door and eventually will shoot someone with a silenced pistol, because he doesn't know how to sneak anywhere. He's not very stealthy. He's also not very strong or agile. He's just charming and really good with a gun. Now let's go to Chris.
My character's name is Simon Magus. He's more the linguist and military intelligence type of guy, which he spent some time in the military intelligence back in the day, and it kind of got out of that, going back, and he has he's very interested in the occult and the supernatural, with his parents working as spies back in the day, but doing a lot of things with archaeology and things like that. So he's has a lot of interest in the strange and the occult, although he still has a lot of ties with the intelligence community and got roped back in after his wife was killed in a consulate bombing back in the early 2000s. So he's back in doing the intelligence work again, and I kind of based him off of kind of like Christopher Lee back in the day when he was doing military intelligence and stuff, things like that, and a little bit of Christopher Lee's one of the characters he played in the movie that had that interest in the occult. So he kind of comes off as like maybe a guy that could break into things or break out of things, like a Houdini type of character, where he does have that whole Simon the Magician type of aura about him.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Relic Nils is he's ex-military. He was in Special Ops, and he was really, really good at tracking and hunting down high-profile targets. And using his skills to eliminate them from the battlefield. He transitioned into a U.S. Marshals Service, to kind of keep using those tracking skills, and that's where he ended up catching Rebecca, and offered her the choice to, maybe instead of using her skills for the ne'er-do-well, use her skills on the side of good. She ended up really biting into that, that mission, and he stays around because, one, he's in love with her, and two, he thinks she'll get hurt without him around. Now, the reason why he had to end up leaving Special Ops and go into the U.S. Marshals is he got shot in the knee. He has no patella on his left knee, and as such, he kind of pops pills like Gregory House does.
So does he limp? Does he have a cane?
Yeah, he doesn't have a cane, but he does limp. It's just the only reason he doesn't have a cane is just sheer resolve.
So if we end up in a foot race, you're in trouble.
Yep.
All right.
You don't have to run faster than the bear. You just have to run faster than Relic.
Yep.
Well, and I apologize if you said this, but you're the wheelman too, right?
I'm the wheelman.
Right. Which will be important.
Which I'm great in a wheelchair.
Now, JJ,
Do we just call you
Relic
Wheels?
is going to be the driver.
He's got one
hopefully.
of them. He's got one of them hover rounds. He just kind of
Heck yeah.
zooms through them all. Yeah.
Right. Mickie, what do you have for us?
So I will be playing Rebecca, no last name. Rebecca was an orphan. She never met her parents. She was in foster care. Lost her foster dad, when he was young in the Oklahoma City bombings. He was a firefighter. Lost her foster mom once she became an adult and left home. Well, I wrote a little backstory here, and I'm trying to find it. There it is. It says, Rebecca's really good at puzzles. It's no wonder she became a computer hacker. I was the one they called when they couldn't get in. As a result, I'm really good with computers and code breaking. School was useless to me, and after my foster mom died, I left home and I haven't looked back. I made a name for myself pretty quickly in the underwire. No one suspected the sweet young kid from the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, could do what I do. I was living the life. I traveled the world and immersed myself in its cultures. You can say I got sloppy after a while, or maybe overconfident. Or maybe he's just that good. Whatever your view, in the end, he caught me. He gave me two options. I could either rot the rest of my life in jail or use my formidable skills for some good. I didn't even think twice. I can see what those radicals could do firsthand. My first foster dad was a firefighter in Oklahoma City. I know he thinks he's lost his faith, but deep down, I'm talking about James's character here. I know he thinks he lost his faith, but deep down I know he still believes. Each one we stop is countless lives saved and another notch on the good guy column.
Awesome.
Notchy.
Excellent. So just a little bit more about the game before we get started. I wanted to give proper credit. I'm definitely not running this game as it's written by any stretch, but I definitely did rely on Dead Simple Modern Espionage RPG, SOE21. It's designed by Craig Cartnell, so I just want to give him proper credit. The idea on the Dead Simple RPG stuff, including this game, is that it's all about role-playing and that the rules are a minor part and shouldn't get in the way of the role-playing. Similar in a lot of respects, I think, to Dungeon World. And so we're not going to be following that exactly today, but a lot of the stuff with the skills and the mechanics does come out of there. So I wanted to.
So I think those familiar with RPGs, and especially like forum posts and discussions, would recognize the acronym RAW, or Rules as Written. We play NAW, not as written.
Right.
NAW.
Right.
No, man.
NAW.
All right. Well, the rule is to have fun today. So we've got a little bit of background. CC1, whatever you guys decide to call him,
Cute cat.
is ultimately the authority, but you also have fairly regular contact with him. You guys have advanced technology in a bunch of respects. So each one of you has a secure, and as secure as can be, cell phone that you can use with each other.
I want a Dick Tracy watch.
You've got a Dick Tracy watch if you want it. You each have a credit card with a higher than reasonable limit that you can use to purchase items, and we're not going to worry about costs generally. If you are in a major Western city, you have logistic support for your team that can bring you weapons or items within a fairly quick amount of time if you need it. If you are in a moderate or smaller town, that support probably is not there, but you can buy things from locals or any networks that you can connect into.
I just started this, and JJ already picked up on it, so forgive the interruption, but I think this might be fun. I'm going to pass this around throughout while we're playing. We're going to come up with CC things, and I want to see how many we can come up with by the end, so this is...
Well, we've got a lot of things that CC can stand for. It's what you dare call him to his face. So,
it's probably just sir.
Cute and cuddly.
And think of him as kind of Jim from Mission Impossible.
Okay.
So he's your boss, but he's
and
also
I was thinking,
you're in contact with
Charlie
him.
from Charlie's Angels as well.
Yeah,
but
yep.
that kind of thing. He's always on the speakerphone. I don't know if we ever meet this guy in person.
Right. So you can actually video conference with him if you're at an appropriate location and you have a laptop.
Is it a real person or just like a graphic or cardboard cutout?
It's a real person.
Okay.
It's a real person.
So we could then possibly identify this person someday.
In theory.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, you have, through your phones and or heads-up display on glasses, you can communicate back and send images back to him and his headquarters. It's not him. He's got a whole team at headquarters, wherever that is. So if you need to confirm that someone is someone, you can essentially snap a photo either with the sunglasses or with your phone or however you guys want to choose to play that to confirm that a target is a target or to try to get a facial recognition on someone or things like that.
Now, how realistic are we planning on keeping this? Are we going to do like Law and Order, enhance, and then, we can enhance so far onto a photo we can see the shadow of the reflection of someone's eye, of someone who's not even in the frame?
Now, let me. I want to try and answer that a little bit, and let me know if I'm wrong, Kurt. But I'm thinking, as long as what you're talking about is today modern, like a Law and Order or a movie or CSI about today, then I think it's probably fair game.
Yeah, I'd like it to be realistic in a couple of respects. First of all, if you are in Atlanta in this game and you shoot someone on the street, you should expect that the ramifications of that will be just as they would be in the real world. So if you're holding shootouts in New York, this game may not go well for your team.
They're going to call the cops.
Right. So, and you should expect to deal with those. So the idea is I would want you to try to deal with situations as you actually would in the real world. Now, having said that, you have a dude with a cyborg arm next to you. So if you want to, play certain things certain ways, that's fine.
It's a state-of-the-art prosthetic.
I have a very rough outline of where I think we're going to go, and somewhat like the Call of Cthulhu game that we played, where there were clues that you could not miss. In the interest of the recording and having it be listenable for people who follow us, I'll make sure that you get to at least some places that are potentially interesting. How you deal with those places and whether you live or die there is ultimately up to how you guys play.
All right.
I don't want to get bogged down at all in the roles. If things are not working with the roles, I will make them work in the interest of the story. You have to have roles matter for it to be a game. Otherwise, we're just sitting around telling a story.
Yeah.
But I don't want anyone at home saying, "Wait, why did he roll a D4 on this one and a D6 on those other ones?" So there is a method to my madness. And I think if you guys are ready, I can start to tell you a little bit about what we're doing.
Let's do that.
All right.
So are you now going to take the voice of Carbon Copy?
Of Carbon Copy? I will now. No, before we do that, I will tell you when I'm going into Carbon Copy mode.
When you do that, use a different voice.
Okay. So who has been in this team or working in this operation for the longest? Because you did not all come in together.
I would say that it probably would be me.
Yeah, or my guy.
Okay, so let's
maybe they join at the same
we have
time.
intelligence or military backgrounds. Yeah.
Right. So let's say that Relic and Simon are the longest running, and then
Lance would be last.
Lance and Rebecca
Because
have
Rebecca
come
has
in.
to be there before him.
Right. So Rebecca and then Lance. It doesn't matter too much other than having a sense for who might play the old hat and who might claim to know more about the way things run or be able to offer advice to the younger kids. So the team has been around for 37 years. You guys have been together for a year or two. Relic and Simon have been in for longer than that. So you have more experience with the team. All right. So we are You guys have already together been involved in an assassination in South America.
Okay.
You have been involved in extracting a double agent from Eastern Europe.
All right.
But what you're involved in now has the potential to be much more harmful to national interests than either of those. For those who are listening may or may not know, a lot of what's happening in the world of international relations and terrorism and national security now revolves around cyber terrorism. And the belief that future wars may not even involve tanks, but they'll be waged by shutting down banking systems, stock exchanges, defense systems. And for better or for worse, that means that some of America's most valuable soldiers now are hackers.
Yep.
And the way that it works, as you guys all know, is that agencies recruit hackers, most of whom by definition are criminals, and one way or the other turn them to what we would call white knight hackers.
White
And-
hat.
White
or,
hat.
sorry, white hat hackers.
Although White Knight is definitely
That's
cooler
even
than
cooler,
that.
right?
Exactly. They can be white knights for us.
Yeah.
So white hat hackers who use skills that would otherwise be criminal but are sanctioned by the U.S. government, whether through the CIA, the FBI, or otherwise, in order to support our national interests. And those hackers are constantly warring with our enemies, but also keeping eyes on our friends. Over the last 6 weeks, however, the network of hackers who are not necessarily members of the team, but who the team relies on for information through the entire U.S. espionage network, have either been killed or have disappeared completely off of our radar. A trusted hacker in Prague was found dead. A trusted hacker in East Berlin was found dead. 2 American hackers that we use regularly have disappeared, and we've had no visual or electronic contact with them in 3 weeks.
So how on edge is Rebecca at this point?
Pretty high strung, right?
So the agency, the team, has decided that the highest priority is to secure the list of the most important hackers that we still need to protect, and ideally find out what is going on, who's behind this, and if possible, put a stop to it. We can't afford to lose more of these folks.
Now, do we have a headquarters, so to speak, or are we more nebulous?
You are, well, ultimately it's up to you, but generally you're a highly mobile team, and you use electronic communications to communicate when necessary. Whether you guys have a place that you consider home that you like to go back to, that's up to you.
Okay.
But
And I would
we're based out of the USA, but we can have safe houses across the
Absolutely. And I would say that generally for the next 3 hours, when you have questions like that, you tell me what you think, and that's what it is, unless I need it to be something else.
Okay.
And I would think we would want a bat cave of some
Yeah,
sort,
heck yeah.
But what it would be, I don't
But
know.
not be
It'd have
important to the story.
Yeah, well, it would have to have some place with a good internet connection.
Exactly.
NORAD.
We actually,
Well, so here's the thing. You can just think about where your Batcave is, because right now, you guys are in Heidelberg, Germany.
Oh,
Heidelberg is in what was formerly West Germany. It's a small to medium-sized city. It's incredibly charming. It's a university town. It's actually home to Ruprecht Karls Universität, which is the oldest university in Germany. It's established back in the late 1300s. University of Heidelberg, as it's known to us, is known for a number of things, including one of the areas where it has a strong program is computer linguistics. The city is built along a river. It's hills off in the distance. Very charming square, lots of charming pubs, beer gardens, and a university district as well. And you have been sent there to check on a member of our network, Hans Schreiber, who we have not heard
is that
from.
first and last name?
Hans, first
Okay.
name, last name Schreiber. He is actually a student at the university, and he lives in a small dorm on campus. And he's done incredible work for the U.S. government, but has not been heard from in several weeks. I'm going to pop up, just so you guys have a rough idea. This is a section of Heidelberg, with the river running along here, university here, number of buildings, town is up here, and then there's a major train station over here off of the map. So I'm just showing this for those of you who are listening,
Okay.
so people have a rough idea, kind of the layout of the part of Heidelberg where we are. You, at the moment where we begin the game, are literally standing outside the door of Hans's dormitory.
Okay.
Or you are within sight of the door of Hans's dormitory. And
I want to ask a couple of questions, not necessarily that my character would ask, but just for the sake of what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Is Hans a citizen of Germany or America?
He's German.
Okay. So he's just an asset.
Exactly.
He's paid by our government to do what he does.
Exactly.
Okay.
He's
completely trusted kind of thing. So we know he's on the right side, that type of deal. And I mean, by no, I mean, we've, as best guess.
He's been vetted.
Correct.
He's a good guy. Right, right.
no one. And by the way, this is a conversation if you wanted to, you could be having with CC. So when I'm talking,
all
you
right.
could assume
Okay.
that you either had this communication with him, or if you choose to, you can always uplink to talk to him. I mean, not probably standing on the street, but at an appropriate time. But you already know from prior discussions with CC1 that he is considered a good asset to the extent that anyone can be trusted. He is in the top 5 most important assets serving American interests.
In cyber world?
In cyber
Or-
world,
okay.
yeah, in the hacker world. So, at least the first part of this game, that's what we're focused on, is these white hats protecting or finding out what's happening to them. Now, he could have turned.
Right.
Anyone could turn.
That's
at
the
any
business
time.
we're in.
Yep, exactly.
That is the
So,
business.
But so right now, you're in. It's fairly quiet, but there are definitely students walking around, going to class, going from class. It's a beautiful early fall day, cool, light breeze.
I'm assuming we've tried to ping his phone and any devices we know he uses, things like that.
Yeah. So interestingly, his computer, when you have pinged, it has been active, and you know that he has been working, but he's not responding to any communications from the people that he should be responding from.
So where's the location of his phone now?
His phone and his computer, to the extent that you know where they are inside his dorm.
They're right on the other side of that door.
Okay.
We're
Or
at
building,
the door now,
yeah.
right?
We're at least
Yeah,
at the
you're
building.
in you can see the building, so you tell me.
All right. Well, Lance will walk up to the door, rap a couple of times. Hans, it's Franz. Are you in there?
Before you start, how did you all get to the dorm?
We walked 500 miles.
But then we walked 500
And then
more.
you walked 500 more?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to think we know.
I wanna-
somebody to take like an Overwatch position.
Yeah,
in
how
case
did
it
you
goes
get
to
there?
shit.
Are you armed? What are you wearing? You guys need to set the scene in that regard.
French-made outfit with a choker.
Excellent. That's a good start.
I'm going back to the last Strahd thing. We had that thing going on. Sorry. I'm sorry. Did I take
I'm
something away from
Well, we
Rebecca?
are in Germany.
I was
so,
just
you
gonna say,
know.
we're in Germany, so someone's got a
I'm
ball
sorry.
gag.
German-made outfit. Germans-made outfit with a choker.
German dungeon porn outfit.
Now, to be fair, I guess I would stick with the same thing. Lance is the guy who would just walk up to the door. That's him. But what would other people be doing?
I don't think Rebecca would be there. I think Rebecca would be in the van outside trying to patch into the security
Yeah.
cameras to see if she could find him on campus or maybe.
I'll come with you because I'm the linguist. So
All the rental vans in Germany
Or
have
we need
full
to break
security gear in them.
All right, so
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
all right, so you're in a van. Are you driving the van?
I am in a driver's seat.
a van down
Okay.
by the river.
A
right.
van by the river.
So,
Nondescript.
So
Simon,
then
So, yeah.
Rebecca's already hacked into the security of the campus.
Yeah, you guys
Right.
each have ear sets on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Wait, your names? Lance and Simon. You guys have ear sets, so like we're communicating. I'm like, all right, I'm patched in, guys.
And I'm going to go with what Kurt said earlier with the idea that Lance is going to wear glasses, although they're not prescription glasses. They're going to be the glasses where you get the heads-up display
Okay.
of what he's seeing, and sometimes it can be transmitted to carbon copy.
They're googly glee.
So what time?
Yeah.
What time of year is it?
it's early fall. There's a cool breeze blowing. Actually, I should say later fall because the leaves have just started to change color. It's kind of a crisp but nice breeze in the air.
Okay.
It's about 2:30 in the afternoon right now. And I guess the only other thing I would ask at this point is just to tell me if you, and you don't have to, the answer, but if you have any weapons or any explosives or anything that you would consider an asset if something were to happen in the next 3 hours, what do you
the
have?
last time Lance got together with Rebecca, his prosthetic hand was programmed for the small, we'll say like the James Bond Walther PPK silenced that is strapped to his hip.
Okay.
And he has that all the time.
Visible?
No, it should not be visible. And he should be dressed as whatever the custom is in the dorm in Heidelberg.
Okay.
So like,
I imagine
you just
you're still fairly young.
Yeah, I'm thinking because one of the things Kurt said when he sent this out was think Bourne, like Jason Bourne stuff. He's that kind of character. He can blend into any society, but not remarkable in any other way.
blend in, disappear.
You're a
We'll
great
never
man.
see him again.
Exactly.
Great, man.
Average Joe.
Awesome.
Yes. Well, that's me.
And Lance, you're going in with him. Are you?
Hey,
That's
Lance.
Simon.
I'm
That's
gonna be.
Simon.
I'm a little more. I'm an older guy, so I kind of want to be dressed as like I could pull off being a professor here.
Okay.
But I'd like maybe a longer coat or jacket so I can hide like an MP5K, like the small MP5 with like a folding stock on it.
Yep.
Do you have a like a
But
trench coat
silence
on?
as well. No, it doesn't have to be that long. MP5K, they're just tiny.
He said,
So you've got,
silent.
like,
But it does have the silencer, so it's a little bit longer than normal.
Okay. And you guys are in the car. You're working on the computer. You're behind the wheel.
Yep.
All right.
And a couple spare mags.
All right. So the dormitory is this is not a huge college dorm. This is almost like a house, 2 stories. To the best of your knowledge, Hans lives on the 2nd floor. The door is actually old school. It does not.
How
have
many other students live there?
This dorm would have 17 or 18 kids living in it.
And we're assuming we know he lives alone, or does he have a roommate?
I mean, he has a roommate who is never there,
Okay.
as far as you know. I mean,
Right.
and he's not often there. I mean, he works from cafes. He's at class.
Right, yeah.
So, but as best you can tell right now, his computer is there. So, all right. And for purposes of this game, you guys are welcome to split the party. I mean, think Dungeon World. You guys can all be in different places. You can pair up, and we'll run simultaneous stories. I don't plan on calling initiative on anything ever. So in terms of the way you guys play it, I want you to think, here's what my character's doing, and here's how he's trying to do it. Yeah. And you guys tell me what you're all doing, and then I will try to make it work.
I'll be watching for traffic,
Okay.
and like I'm noticing the general income of the area, and I know that the bad guys like to drive nice cars.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Mercedes especially. We're in Germany.
And every time I open the door,
Exactly.
the music's going on inside the cars.
Right, and have you? And answer
Russian
honestly.
mafia.
Don't just say yes because it sounds like it would be good. Have you studied the road maps
Yes.
for this part of town, or
I
did you
would
just show
have.
up?
I would have, and
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Have
mean,
we previously operated anywhere in Germany or no?
You have been in
'Cause,
Berlin.
for me and him, because since we were more old school than
Yeah,
our
yeah.
other team.
You've been in Berlin many times. You've been up around Mainz and Koblenz, which is up north on the Rhine, but you have never operated in Heidelberg.
And do we have any,
you've been in
here? I have any contacts in Germany that we could rely on that aren't based with us?
No.
Okay.
No. You have been to Heidelberg before on social trips when you were younger.
Okay.
But you
Yeah,
have only a
right.
cursory knowledge of
Yeah,
the area.
gotcha.
Yeah, but like not knowing our way around wouldn't really be a thing because we could always pull up Google Maps, right? And
I was just thinking
and like
that,
cast it to like your glasses
I could
or
see
something.
I could see Relic just scrolling through looking for traffic on Google Maps on his phone.
Or do we
Waze,
have access to a
Waze.
satellite?
Waze, yeah.
Oh, like a satellite system?
I can get you access to a satellite
Okay,
system.
That's true. We do now.
Let's put it this way. Right now, while nothing's happening, you can literally pull up Google Maps. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
At
I mean,
some point in the
can
future,
she get like a live feed like right now of something overhead or not?
If there's a satellite overhead, I could probably try to tap into that feed.
Since
you
we're not
could try.
using, yeah,
I
so we're
could
not
try,
using anything
yeah.
outdated.
I could hear this voice in my glasses. Lance, do you know you have a bald spot?
Right. Now remember, now at this point, to be honest, you wouldn't be that paranoid. Like, there's nothing out of the ordinary as far
Well-
as you've seen. And you're
Well,
just
but you always like to prepare. We're
Exactly.
we're paranoid.
correct.
No, sorry.
Well done. Well done.
I would say the way that you described the setup, Rebecca would be paranoid because it's her kin that are being
That's true.
Heck
grabbed
yeah.
up.
Okay.
Right.
I like
So-
Hans.
I
so
also
like
think that standard operating procedure would be to have a drone providing heads up like down or aerial view
Okay.
of the actual area around the van,
All right.
so beaming it back to cute
beaming
and,
it back to
cute and cuddly.
cute and cuddly and to the van.
It's like 5 seconds later, the drone shot out of
We're just
the
gonna
air.
keep going down the list.
Right. So that's fine. So you've got overhead feed. You see basically just what looks like
It's
a
just
college
a college campus.
Yeah, I mean there is traffic for sure. There are Mercedes, there are BMWs, there are
Audis and-
Audis, there are Peugeots, there are the little tiny, but nothing that
To
particularly
be
catches
fair, I
your
don't
eyes.
think the Germans will drive a French car.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what the little
All our German listeners are
You
just
got
like,
VW.
oh,
I mean,
right.
Volkswagen.
Audi.
Yeah, he mentioned Audi.
I did.
So anyways, you guys, the dorm is just right off Hauptstrasse, which is a major road, one big block off of the river. You know, there's some green area, university buildings. So You guys are at
So
the door.
back at the door, knock on the door.
Wait,
Hans,
before you do that,
I'm not knocking yet, Hans. Hold on.
let me call his phone to see if we can
Okay.
hear any movement.
Okay.
You know, I'll call his
And
phones.
while you
I'm
guys are
assuming you can
dialing,
hear
I'm
it
like,
ringing.
guys, I checked in on his computer. He's supposed to be in this room, and it looks like it's still active.
Can you turn
Hey.
the webcam on his machine?
Hey, Lance, did you know you got a bald spot?
Son of a bitch.
How's that hand working out for you? Did you try it out before we left?
Yeah, it's working great.
All right, so you knock. The door basically just goes open. There's a couple of girls hanging out chatting, actually, in the lobby, and you see someone studying in the back corner.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a kind of a common room area like you would expect in a dorm.
I'll just.
I want to call his phone so we can hear.
Yeah,
we can hear any movement in the
I'm
room.
going to walk in like I belong here, with Simon trailing, and we'll walk towards where we hear the phone ringing. If we do,
Okay, so you ring.
we'll just walk right in.
Yeah, the phone rings 6 times. No one picks up. It
You don't hear any movement in
goes
the
to
room.
voicemail.
Okay.
No.
So we
No,
hear the
but
phone.
you can hear the
ring,
phone upstairs.
So we're just going to follow
Or you
that.
can hear a phone upstairs.
And
His
if
phone's
any of
ringing.
the people in the common room turn to look, just nod and
Right.
go up the stairs towards where the phone is.
Okay, so no big deal. You guys go up the stairs. You hear the phone ringing from the room at the. As you go up the stairs, it's the door on the right, and the door's closed.
Let's give it a
Knock
quick,
again.
quick listen on the at the door. Just to,
Yeah, you
Nothing.
don't hear anything at all.
is it locked?
No, so he prior to this, he would know that there's a specific thing that when somebody from our group contacts him, and it's that his friend Franz. That's why I'm doing Hans and Franz. Hans, it's Franz. Are you in there? Pardon my horrible German accent.
No response at the door.
Okay,
Let's
open
see.
it.
Yeah. See if it's open.
All right, so you open the door.
Okay.
Relatively nondescript college dorm room. There's
A lot of IKEA furniture.
I was gonna say, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's generic. There's a band poster for a German death metal band that you don't know on the wall.
Ramstein.
Yeah, they're good lads.
There is a lot of computer equipment set up facing the window,
Okay.
and you can see the back of what you assume is Hans's head sitting at his computer.
That's not good.
I mean, you see him from behind sitting at his computer.
He's not moving, I'm sure.
Not
Good.
yet.
Quick scan of the room. Anything else?
Right. So you don't see anything as you enter.
So I will grab my pistol and kind of nod towards Simon to go check it out, and I'll just keep an eye out.
Okay.
All right. I'll put my hand on the MP5K and go from an angle to see if I could pie around to see the front of him. You know, I don't want to go up to him. I want to pie out to see what it looks like.
So you pie around. As you come around him, you see that there is a. Now, you have never met Hans, so you can't say that it is Hans, but there's a young man sitting at the computer with his throat slit, basically from ear to ear across the front of his throat.
All right. I look at Lance and I'm like,
I'll walk around,
He signed.
get the view on my glasses, and that's relayed to Rebecca. Is this him?
Ah, shit. Another one just went down. What the hell's going on? They're picking us off one by one. We need to get to the bottom of this, guys.
So you snapped the photo, she shot it to you, so you need to...
I need to send it to Cute and Cuddly to confirm.
Well, you could just do a Google search. Facebook, maybe.
I wouldn't trust these lines. I don't have a secure
Probably not.
connection here. Not in a van outside of campus.
is there any way we can figure out like how long he's been dead?
Yeah, so on that one, roll a D20.
Is this knowledge?
No, this is actually just going to be perception.
Okay.
Ugh, that's not horrible for me, I guess. Oh, natural
He
20.
got rolled
Nat
and rolled a
20.
26. I'll put my die back down.
So, all right, so while Mickie is doing her thing, trying to figure out who this is...
Yeah, I would have taken the picture, uploaded it back to Chim Chim to see if he can confirm the identity of Hans.
I had planned on just saying them all at the end, but this is better.
Yeah, just every time we say I have to mention it, we just use a new one.
Every time you
Yeah.
hear a CC name, that is
Yeah.
Cobra Commander.
Got
So
it. It's CC1.
CC1.
Yeah.
All right. So while that is happening, and you get essentially feedback, you're not doing a voice call on this. You get essentially a text back to you that says confirmed status ? And while that is happening, Chris, you are studying the body, and the body is so fresh that you're surprised he's not alive. He's probably been killed within the hour.
So he's still warm.
A little bit, but depends on the room is.
Right. So while you are
Probably no AC here. So.
That's true.
Germany, actually Europe in general.
Really?
Europe in
That's
general.
true,
can
Europe
have
in general.
AC.
In Poland, if you have a drink with ice in it, you'll get a cold.
Right. So you're in the room. Bed's on your right. Windows in front of you. Hans is sitting there with his throat sliced. And while you're examining him, out of nowhere, immediately the window in front of you shatters. You hear an incredibly loud sound. And
We're thinking, well, so shattered from a bullet or like an explosive on the window?
well, I mean, you're standing right there, and all glass just shattered around in front of you.
I just shout into my glasses microphone, Rebecca, what the hell was that?
You tell me. All I'm getting is feedback.
Right. So as this happens, the wall behind you explodes, and what was obviously a sniper round has just missed coming by and getting Simon in the head.
All right. I hit the deck and just be like, hey, can you give me a location of where that came from?
Just looking now. So I
Check
know
the aerial feed.
be checking for closer. Is that better? I would be checking for buildings in the area to see what exactly is across the way from the campus.
I'm going to look right at where it came from so she gets the best feed and try and figure out where things came from.
Right. So you're seeing absolutely nothing on the aerial feed. It looks exactly like it looked 2 minutes ago. Joe, while you're looking out, roll a quick perception check.
Hey, I can do that. 15.
15. All right. So you actually see a flash, a very quick flash from not a fire flash, but like sun glinting off a scope. From the building that's essentially across the grass on the far side of the road. So it's only maybe at most 200 yards away. So this is a fairly close shot.
I point directly towards that so Simon can see it, and so it's in my glasses so that Rebecca can see it as well.
Right. So while that's happening, you are on the ground, you're pointing, and you two start to hear loud voices from downstairs yelling in German.
What are they saying?
That's a good question. So you would know because you are the linguist.
Yeah.
Like, go, 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 they're upstairs.
We got to get out of here. Relic, we
We're on
got
the
company.
We're on
Relic,
the
we need
second
to
floor.
we need to extract these guys.
You're on the second floor.
Is there
can jump
anything
that.
we needed to grab here that I would have known? Like, do you know how to grab
His
a hard
laptop.
drive? Okay, I'll grab that then.
So where
Unless
I
it's already
saw-
been, if it's still here.
Where I saw the glint off the scope, was that somebody tearing down the sniper rifle? Can I see that? Can I see that they're...
You can't see. You
can't
you
tell?
suspect that the sniper was across the wall.
Well, luckily the glass has been blown out. You guys can just jump straight out into the van.
That's what I was going to say. Pull the van around that side,
We need to extract.
if it isn't already there.
So that's a good question. How far are you from where they are?
Less than 50 meters.
Okay, so tell
We
me
would
what's
have been
happening.
like parked
We're,
outside.
we're in the parking lot of the dormitory. I'm just going to drive around the backside on the sidewalk.
Okay, so you're still on the ground. You're up. You grabbed the laptop. So both your hands are taken with that.
Yeah, the MP5K will just be hanging from the sling.
Okay, and
And I'll grab a phone. I'll grab Hans's phone.
Yeah, pocket that.
okay,
I figure we can both grab something.
yeah,
Why
yeah,
not, right?
okay.
And you gotta jump out the window.
Yes, right down to the van.
All right,
Because we're only about 15 feet up. Shouldn't be that bad. We're professionals.
You jump from
With
the
that, and you got a
to the
very
roof of the
high
van.
van.
Yeah, we should be able to land right on top of the van.
right. So roll
Crunch.
Roll a 2d6.
Hey, I can do that too. What, am I adding anything or just rolling 2d6?
Just 2d6.
I have 6.
Actually, I take it back. Add your dex on this one.
nice.
So 8.
Just the
Okay.
decks? Just decks?
Just dex, straight dex.
He rolled 2 6s, so I think that
yeah.
probably
I
qualifies.
think you're probably
Unless
good.
we were trying to roll low.
Yeah, then I'll be
He
oh,
got it, yeah.
Right. All right, so Simon jumps out of the window. He looks like the cat that he is. Hits the ground, does a perfect roll, comes up on his feet, and is dashing for the van without even looking back. Meanwhile,
I'm
Lance,
expecting Lance made a dent on the top of the van.
Just land on your hand.
Yeah.
right? So
We're going to have to pay the insurance for the rental. Damn it.
Just do a
Glad we
handstand.
got the insurance.
Yeah, I mean, I parked right underneath the
so you
the
can
window
hit-
because I can see the glass on the ground.
Oh.
So
You should be able to see some glass.
okay,
I parked right underneath the window.
truly underneath the window. All right, so he could land on your van.
Yeah.
All right, so
There's no grace with Lance. None whatsoever.
right, so you hit the van,
like a rock.
and then you basically you hit it, which breaks your fall. But then you fall off of the far
I'll say
side.
you belly flopped and rolled off the...
Yeah, kind of.
Not a belly flop. It's not that bad. But
Don't
you
break your hand. I don't want to fix it again.
you roll off.
Yeah.
You land on your hip on the concrete, and then as you're doing that, Rebecca throws open the door from the side of the van and says,
Get your ass in here.
And smacks you in the
We-
face with
Smacks you in the face of the door. Get in. We got to get out of here. Things
Sorry
are
about the
heating up.
roof.
All right. So while this is happening,
As soon as I'm inside, I'm handing the phone to Rebecca because I don't even know how to use a cell phone.
so JJ, you're behind the wheel, and
Yeah.
you see at the front door of the dormitory 2 guys dressed in V-neck black T-shirts, gray jeans, muscular-looking, sunglasses. Both of them are holding pistols, and they are coming flying out of the building looking for you.
All right, reverse. And
Simon's in the van as well.
All right. What is your driving skill? Your modifier?
my modifier is 10 plus whatever you get me.
Okay. All right. So you're hitting reverse. You're on Hauptstrasse, and you are flying back. All 4 of you are in the van. These guys come running out. They don't actually shoot at you, but they start flagging and waving. As that happens, another blast comes from across the way, and the right window of the van bursts out.
What is the? I want to glance down the aerial feed, see what's.
How are you going to glance at the aerial feeds in the back of the van?
She's got
aerial-
it in the back of the van.
No, the aerial feed was on the monitor in the front.
Oh, there's a monitor in the
It's
front of the
probably
van.
a 2-monitor thing. You're mirroring your screen.
So there's like a little, like a.
So he can get it over top.
Why
view.
wouldn't I have a heads-up display of the area?
So
that
you've
I'm
got
driving
like
in?
on the van, like in the nav system.
there you go.
Okay.
So I just gave JJ the map of where we are, and JJ, you guys will have to decide where you want to go. But
So we're on Neckarstaden.
you are on Hauptstrasse, right here in the old
Hauptstrasse.
university. So
So
you're
we're
right
here.
in there.
All right.
And as far as points of reference that you know, this would be more downtown over here in the east. This would be a major train station about 2 miles this way along the river.
Do we have any
And
safe
then
houses?
Anywhere else that you want to go? You do
Probably
not.
the dorm we just left.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
You do not have a safe house in Heidelberg.
Heidelberg. Okay. Where would we have a?
You would have a safe house in Frankfurt for sure. You could have one. I mean, there's not one within nowhere you're going to be in the next hour.
Oh, okay. That's one.
So you need to make your safe house.
Yeah,
what's gonna
that's
happen.
that's what I wanted to know.
So if I'm reversing
You trying to hit him or just?
and my right window just blew out, that means that the sniper is somewhere in New Universe or the theater in one of those 2 buildings.
I probably don't have too much of a shot from here, but I will quickly unscrew the silencer from my Walther and see if I can take a
gonna
shot at
return fire?
whoever it is.
You
Okay.
might want to leave it on here. It's gonna hurt our ears in here.
Yeah, but if the window was just blown out, we don't have so
no.
much sound percussion.
I am
inside.
actually going to
If anything, it would just-
Real bad.
attempt
Just
to cross
discourage
the
him.
river.
Kurt, no.
To cross the river.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So you're going to go up.
But yeah, it would
Which
hinder
way?
your accuracy with the helmet.
I'm reversing down this way, so
So you're going to try to cross here?
the Theod Hughesbrook.
Brucker. Okay. So basically, you guys are going to try to get to the river, get across the river, and go from there. So while that's happening, Rebecca, you're on the system,
I'm on the system.
and you all of a sudden see multiple automobiles basically bearing in on your location that weren't there before, so they were parked or just part of traffic flow, and you've got them coming essentially towards you from here.
So from 3 different directions from the west.
Yeah,
Hey,
they're
real-
all basically coming from the west.
Hey, Rillick, we've got company. I see multiple cars on the road.
I see him too. I need you all to buckle in.
Do you want me to try to change the traffic lights? Try to give us all greens?
No, these are newer cars. Why don't you see if you can't
Disable.
cause a little malfunction? Make sure they can only turn left.
Make their low fuel light come on.
May not be able to do that, but I can definitely try to.
Oh, you definitely can do that.
Just turn their cars off. They're new.
I know if they're new, I could try to shut them off.
Yeah, turn
Let's
off,
see.
disable their fuel injection.
All right, give me a minute here. Let's see if I can hack in.
All right, roll a d20 and add your hacking.
Does Lance have a shot at all?
I mean, he would have a shot at the people coming out of the dorm,
I'm
but
looking
you're
for
going to
where
be
that
gone.
other shot came from, the other sniper shot.
Not
No?
with a
Okay.
pistol.
Okay.
What is hacking?
Sorry,
Hacking
it's
is knowledge.
Knowledge. For
Thank
you,
you.
it's a knowledge.
17. No?
Yeah, 12.
17.
Right, so
Yeah,
that's your
so
best
17.
skill. And you rolled a 5. 17. Okay, so you actually don't, you can't get anywhere near making that work for some reason.
Fuck, these
You know.
must be different This must run on a different software. I can't break in.
You just made their fasten seatbelt light come on.
And so you're while she's doing this, you're backing up at full speed, or have you swung around?
No,
what are you doing?
I will have swung around the first intersection I get to.
All right, so now you describe to me where we're going and where we're turning, and I will describe to you what you see.
How far are we from the airport we landed in?
We came in by train.
How far are we from the train station we came in
2
from?
miles.
So we can get this is kilometers, Kurt. You can't do miles here.
3.2 kilometers.
All right. Well, okay, that's close enough. I think that's 1.6.
It's 1.6 miles.
So you got it.
Awesome.
Yeah, but it's wrong. That'd be 1 mile. But either way.
1.6. Yeah.
Anyway,
whatever.
we're good. So should we head towards that? Is that what we should
The
head
train isn't going to be a good way to leave.
towards? What is? I think that's the next step.
The van's the best. We're in control of it.
I'm going to. What I'm actually going to do. I'm going to swing around at first intersection, go down toward Neckarstaden,
Okay.
and I'm going to be looking to see if there's any unoccupied boats in the water.
We're going for a gondola ride.
right.
We're going to do an Indiana Jones.
All right, I like the idea. So you are going to be turning from. We were actually on
Hopstrafa.
Hofstrafe, taking a right onto Neckarstraden. Roll a d4 for me.
1.
All right. So you bust a hard right turn, and the backside of the van, you lose the backside of the van, and it slides and actually kind of smashes into, in Europe, like other places, there are these essentially metal posts everywhere, and you smash the backside of that.
Do you want to know what the actual word is?
Yes.
Ballard.
You smash the ballard, and Rebecca's like, Jesus Christ! But you keep going, and you make the turn.
Where'd you learn how to drive,
That's why you're
Relic?
buckled.
You should have saw him in South America. It was way worse.
Kurt,
Can't imagine.
Can you give us and the listeners the reason why we rolled the D4 and what it meant when you rolled a 1?
Yep. So at each turn,
I was curious. Thank you.
something can happen, and a 1 is is failure. Or a 1 could have potential negative consequences. JJ's an excellent driver; that's his role. So
You're an excellent driver.
Very good driver.
3/4 of the time, he's just going to be able to do what he wants. But he's also driving a surveillance van and not a Ferrari, so he's not going to have the level of control over it that he might have over other vehicles.
Okay.
So
what would
Stupid
in
German
this example?
undertow.
What would a 2, 3, or 4 meant?
he would have, in this particular case, 2, 3, or 4, he would have just made that turn, no problem.
And a
And
4
it
would
may not
like
matter,
sparks
but
had
if you
flown and
whack it
everything
3 or
was
4 more
perfect?
times, maybe.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, and that 1 may not matter, but if he
if you
whacks it
wax
again, then maybe.
And
it's-
again,
Something's going to happen.
and again.
Yeah, so, all right. So you make the right turn. You're now on the side street near the Kurfürst Museum, and you've got Necker. Oh God, German is nicht so gut.
Is that like Dead Street or something like that?
I love this place.
Just thinking Necro or something.
No,
Neckarstraden.
Neckarstaden.
Okay.
So that's right in front of you. 100 yards up. So you're going, accelerating full speed.
Yep.
At this point, Black Mercedes is making the turn right behind you. It's 25 yards off the back.
I'm going to be looking out the passenger side window. I
Okay.
figure I'll be up.
I'm assuming
up front,
we don't have
'cause
any more armaments in this vehicle except for what we said we had on our own persons. Or can we have some?
I would only have a pistol because that's all I'm good with. But I'll be looking out the passenger side behind us.
What do you normally carry?
Are they apparently holding any weapons
There's
pointed
some,
towards us?
You
Can I
just
see
see the
that?
car.
Relic,
right
what do
now.
you got in here, man?
So nobody's
There's
got
some
a
ordnance
gun.
in the center
yet.
console.
Did you bring the grenades?
That's
this
what I'll
time?
be watching for. If they shoot, I will return fire.
Okay.
So I actually always store some ordnance in
The
the
console?
center console.
Of the rental van.
Yeah. I will have thrown some
It's
grenades
normal.
in there.
Yeah, it's
I'll grab
normal.
one so I can toss it out. behind
Okay.
us.
Are you just throwing
So you're going to be
grenades?
throwing grenades
in the
downtown
city?
Heidelberg.
No, he's
That's not
going to
Berlin.
throw
I mean,
Actually, all I really need is like a flashbang. Will do the trick. Really, that's all I
Okay.
need. Yeah, it'll
All
be
right.
fine.
So are you doing that now?
I want to get to a spot where it's going to like cause a jam up with that lead car that's following us.
Okay. So this is all happening incredibly quickly, JJ. You're racing up. You've got Neckarstraden right in front of you. You want to bang a left. So can you roll a d4 again?
Yeah.
You roll a d4 every time you want to bang.
You're
Okay,
whacking it, banging
Right.
left.
So you adjusted from the last turn, and you make this one nicely, and there's no traffic in your way.
Well, yeah, I mean, I adjusted for the undertow.
And Simon, if you wanted to, so he's turning left onto the river. The car's right behind you. This would be a place that might make sense to drop a bang.
Yeah, just
so roll a d20. Just
That's awesome.
Banging right.
Drop
banging
a
left,
bang.
Drop a
I
bang.
like it, Kurt. That's a good
Am
one.
I adding anything, agility or something?
nope.
or-
You just need to roll over a 3.
See how he says that? 16.
All right, so you drop the flashbang. It sits for half a second and explodes in blinding light, like phosphorus type light. And the car that was right behind you immediately swerves off and just slams into the building on the right. It's done. It's gone. So now JJ's made the turn. Lance is hanging out the window, and you guys are flying at full speed up, going west on Neckarstaden.
Full speed in a rental van's like 60 kilometers an hour.
Right,
But, yeah.
right.
Nah,
so
we
JJ,
would've taken the
you got
governor
20
off.
feet to the bridge. You want to bust for the bridge, or you want to keep going west?
I'm going to keep going west because the bridge does not appear to connect here on Neckarstaden.
Okay. So
It appears that we're an underpass.
According to the JPEG Kurt printed out for us.
it's my accurate map of Heidelberg.
It's nice.
So now that you're on Neckarstaden, you've got 2 more cars similar to the last one that you just saw that have come up behind you at full speed. And at this point, Joe, because you're looking for it,
Yep.
the right car, someone is out the window with a submachine gun, and he starts to fire at the van.
I will take the first shot I got.
All right, so let's roll a d20 and add. Do you have a shooting skill?
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a 10 modifier, and I rolled a 14, so 24.
14.
Nice.
Okay. So 24. Okay.
And I'm
so
really not looking to disable them. I'm looking for them to. Well, I am looking to. I'm not looking to kill. I'm looking to disable them from continue shooting. So if I can hit the gun or the hand or the arm,
Okay,
that's
so-
what I'm shooting for.
All right. So you.
I know my wheelman can get us away from their driving. I'm just concerned about them.
So you
shooting
do
us.
exactly that. You shoot him in the arm, but the car keeps coming. Both
Okay.
cars keep
As long
coming.
as he like drops his gun or can't shoot it, that's all
I
care
will.
about, 'cause he can get us
I will
away from
full on chicken them. I know I have mass on their little rinky-dink cars.
Okay, they're behind you. So what are you doing?
Oh, I thought you said they were in front of me.
No, they're
Sorry, I
behind.
meant they've come out. They were coming up Neckarstraden, and what you did is you turned out in front of them,
Yeah.
and they are now right on your tail.
We're being chased.
You're
Okay.
being chased.
We're the lead car in the chase.
I'm going to see if I could get another grenade underneath, like time it so I can get it, and they roll over it, and it goes off when they're rolling over it.
Okay, flash or
Yeah, flashbang will be good enough to take. Trust me.
okay. So roll a d20 again.
By the way, Lance will
Oh.
flinch every
Roll a
time he
4.
uses a flashbang because that's how he lost his hand. And it's the one grenade he can't stand.
A 4 works because all you're doing is testing against malfunction.
Yep.
Basically, all you're doing is drop inside the back.
Yeah.
So as long as it works, it works. So it goes under, it bangs.
Yep.
That car's
As long
gone.
as it's not up armored. then
So
yeah.
that means Lance on that SWAT raid rolled a 1 when he went to use a flashbang that blew his hand off.
Exactly.
Thanks, Kurt.
Exactly.
Well done.
Good.
So that's gone. Second car that's with him, guy is now leaning out, machine gun out of the passenger side, shooting at the van again.
Same
Boom,
thing.
boom, boom.
If I can get another shot at him.
Hang on.
Want to see if I get hit first?
All right, so 2 of the rounds go in the back window, and one comes up and hits right next to Lance, and you're forced to duck back inside.
Okay.
I'm going to be taking serpentine movements. Serpentine.
Okay. Meaning you're driving.
I'm slaloming.
Awesome. Okay, so that slows you down.
Damn
but-
it, Rillick! I
but makes you
can't
harder.
type when you drive like
While
this.
he's driving, he just
Well,
keeps making hissing sounds.
And so, what is Rebecca doing while all this shooting is happening, if anything?
Rebecca is trying to clear the way of traffic, messing with traffic lights, giving us all green and reds on the.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we tried.
So you're making them run red lights because they care.
So you tried to hack.
Well,
Which is keeping other people away
other
from us,
traffic
yeah.
away
Right.
from us.
So you tried to hack the cars before and failed. Do a knowledge roll for the light system.
Awesome. 18.
All right, so you were in. You were into that system. It's taken you 45 seconds, but you've got your sweet encryption breaking software, and you were in, and you, for the next 90 seconds, control the traffic lights where we are.
So that's my goal, is to keep our path clear, blocking off side traffic so we don't have pedestrian traffic in the way that we have to try to evade and
Okay.
have them get hurt.
All you have at this point is the one car behind you. Lance ducked back in because of the shot. Do you want to try to? They're still shooting at you. So
Yep, I'll stick stick my head just around the corner enough to be able to take a shot.
Okay.
All right.
And while he's doing that, my plan of action is I'm going to make the next turn, come to a complete stop, throw it in reverse, and as they try to make a turn, ram them in reverse.
Okay. So, can you give me a quick shooting roll, Lance?
Let's do that. Let's say a 7 and 10 is 17.
Okay, so that is enough to drive them back inside the car,
Okay.
but not to damage anyone
Okay.
or to stop them from coming forward.
So that should stop them from shooting as Relic makes the move.
Right. And JJ, I need Relic to give me 2 rolls. Just a straight 2d6 roll and a d20 driving check.
So I have a 20 and a 2 on the d6.
You only
It's
rolled it
2
once.
d6 roll. Not a d6 with
Oh.
a 2 result, but 2d6.
You had a
10 on the 2d6.
All right, so you do exactly what you want to do, exactly the way you described it, and why don't you tell me what happens?
All right, so the van, I do a little drift turn around the thing so I come to a complete stop as soon as I get around the building, and I throw it in reverse and jam it backward at the same time as they're starting to make their turn. I T-bone them and shove them into the river.
Okay, awesome. So at this point, you get a message from essentially Home Command that tells you, well, first of all, you guys now don't see anyone behind you.
Okay.
At least for the moment, you feel that you're clear. And you get a short message that tells you actually to get to the train station, that there's a contact there that will take care of you.
Hey guys, Christmas Cottage just sent us a message. We've got to go to the train station.
Awesome. And when you guys go to the train station, you're actually approached by a local who tells you that there is a captain with a storage boat or a shipping boat. What are you on? It's not a storage boat, but a small shipping vessel on the river, and that he can get you off to safety.
Okay, I would go through the procedures for disabling the computers on the van, like wiping it, because
Well, we
obviously
got
we can't
ordnance. We
bring.
just want to wipe the van.
We can just wipe the van.
It's up to you
Yeah.
guys.
Just one.
That's up to Simon, right? You're going to blow stuff.
You're gonna blow. Yeah, we're gonna blow up the van, but I still need to wipe the drives and whatnot.
Yeah.
'Cause
Right.
we can't let that.
All right, so you,
We'll frag the
I assume
van.
you've got the knowledge to do that. You don't even need to roll. So you wipe everything to the extent that you can wipe it. And
We'll frag the van. Just one. Just leave
Right,
it in
so-
there.
And then you're
So
gonna leave
keep it closed.
a grand.
all right, so you guys have gotten your contact. You're ready to go to the boat. You're in the clear. And as the last scene before you get on the boat, what do you do with those?
Just toss the frag in the middle with the back area of the van.
We're going to throw an EMP grenade in there, too?
No.
So Simon tosses the frag, turns and walks away, and the van just explodes in a fireball behind him as the four
When
of you
did this
walk,
become a Michael Bay movie?
walk towards the screen.
Right at the
Right
beginning.
now.
And that is a perfect place for us to stop the first hour, and we will be back with more. Thanks
Pretty
for listening.
cool.
Sounds good. Meantime, we can all say...
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
What do you say? Espionage penis?
Penisage.
Espionage.
That's... Okay, that's good.
That works.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.